Police around Washington County cracking down on e-bikes. A Tokerville man sentenced after going on a county-wide burglary spree. And your local weather forecast coming up with highs, lows, and everything you need to know for the days ahead.
You're watching St. George News at 5, brought to you by our studio sponsor, We Win Injury Law.
Good afternoon, I'm Monica McLaughlin. Police across Washington County are cracking down on illegal electric motorbike use after repeated incidents of teens riding recklessly and fleeing from officers. St. George police say they're done playing games. Maury Kessler joins us with how this regional enforcement effort is ramping up just in time for summer.
The St. George Police Department is cracking down on illegal motorbike use, especially among teens and young adults who are riding recklessly and fleeing officers. St. George Police Sergeant Jeremy Needles said what originally started as an education push has since shifted to strict enforcement.
This summer, we're kind of at the point where we've done our education and we're going to take firm action on those violators. People riding off-road motorcycles, which include the Surons, electric motorcycles, Talarias, those style bikes that have pegs and no pedals on them. Those are all required to be registered as an OHV motorcycle. And within St. George city limits, you can't ride an OHV anywhere within the city. Now, you can turn an OHV into street legal, such as a side-by-side, right? We've seen a lot of those that are OHVs, but then they can add the horn, the blinkers and stuff onto it that make it street legal, and then register it that direction stuff. But other than that, they're not allowed within city streets.
In 1 week alone, officers saw up to 7 police chases involving these bikes. Repeated instances of recklessness and evasion have prompted officers to move to immediate impoundment and citations.
We have so many running from us that we're done playing games, and we're going to be aggressive in our stance with electric motorcycles.
Neighboring cities like Washington City and Santa Clara are joining the effort, with even park rangers checking for compliance.
Get it registered. We got lots of desert and lots of BLM around us. Go enjoy it and play with it where you're supposed to play with it. Go to the sand dunes and stuff. So,
Needle's message is clear. Know the rules, stay safe, and expect enforcement.
A Tokerville man who went on a county-wide burglary spree has been sentenced after pleading guilty to 6 felony charges tied to tens of thousands of dollars in losses. Patrick Wilson avoided prison time for now. Let's take a look at the judge's stern warning and the conditions of his probation.
I hope you feel a little bit of shame over the acts that you've committed.
Yes,
a Tokerville man convicted in a string of business burglaries across Washington County avoided prison, but only under strict conditions laid out by a district judge. 37-year-old Patrick Wilson appeared before Judge Ryan Christensen on Tuesday to be sentenced on 6 third-degree felony charges, 5 for burglary and 1 for theft by receiving. The charges stem from 6 separate cases tied to a county-wide crime spree. Wilson was first linked to 2 burglaries in Hurricane and Lavercan last October. 4 months later, he faced 5 more cases tied to a wave of break-ins and thefts across southern Utah, totaling tens of thousands in losses.
I look at the crimes that you've committed, that you've admitted to, and they're crimes that make our society less safe, less secure, that harm individuals. And you're going to spend a little time trying to undo a little bit of that harm. And you're trying to undo some of the harm in your own life with the treatment that you're undergoing, and I commend you for successfully completing the inpatient treatment at Renaissance Ranch and the work that I know is not easy and is very time-consuming that you're doing in the outpatient program. Okay, I commend you for that. That doesn't undo what you did to citizens in our community in making people feel less safe.
Defense attorney Ron Noyes said Wilson's crimes were driven by substance abuse, but that he voluntarily entered and completed inpatient rehab at Renaissance Ranch. He now attends outpatient treatment and hopes to return to work as an electrician. Here is Stephanie Harmon, the prosecutor on the case.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have had a chance to review the PSI. It is a very favorable offer for Mr. Wilson. He's done a lot of work since he got out of custody on these cases. He racked up quite a few very quickly.
The judge suspended prison time, which could have totaled up to 30 years, but left Wilson with probation, nearly 600 days of jail time held in reserve, and over $3,300 in restitution due now with more pending.
That this is a turning point in your life. 6 cases. all third-degree felonies. I hope this is your wake-up call.
Wilson will now be supervised by adult probation and parole for the next 3 years. If he violates the terms, the suspended sentences could be reinstated. Now we'll take a look at your daily weather forecast, brought to you by Casablanca Resort and Casino. In St. George, we are currently looking at 107 degrees. Tonight's low will dip to 75, and tomorrow will bring another scorcher with a high of 103 and a low around 73. Over in Mesquite, it's currently 109 degrees under bright sunshine. Expect tonight's low to hover near 80 and tomorrow's high to hit 106 with another warm night into the mid-70s. And finally, Cedar City is seeing 91 degrees right now. Tonight's low dips to 64 with tomorrow's high reaching 87 and a low of 63 overnight. Looks like with red flag warnings across the board, we will have plenty of sunshine, very hot temperatures, and dry conditions continuing across the region. Be sure to stay hydrated, avoid outdoor activities during peak heat, and always be fire safe out there. Changes to Senate Republicans' budget bill could open nearly 18.7 million acres of Utah's public land for sale, up from an original proposal of 2 million. The newest motion, led by Senator Mike Lee, aims to ease the housing crisis, but critics, including the Wilderness Society, warn the plan puts key grazing and recreation lands at risk. Kyle Dunphy with Utah News Dispatch reports the latest amendments would remove protections for grazing lands, effectively doubling the size of the land up for consideration. Now we'll head over to Sheldon and Amy for your favorite weekend adventure guide.
That's right, so many great events happening this weekend, starting right here at the Rock Bowl at Sand Dollar Resort.
Are you ready for a tribute to Heart?
Oh man, they are fantastic. It's a great tribute band, and plus this venue is fantastic. Come check it out. Plus live music at the Bumbleberry Theater in Springdale.
You want to cool off? That's the place to be with Dick Earl. It's an electric witness.
Oh man, he puts on such a great show. If you love live music, if you love music in general, he's the guy to go see at Bumbleberry. And if you want to go down to our favorite place on earth, the Casablanca Resort Casino, they've got some great shows over there.
Yellow Brick Road's happening. Plus,
Love Yellow Brick Road. And Radical West is also playing. They got pool parties over there. They've redone some remodels. Get down to the Casablanca Resort Casino. And that's what's going on this weekend in Southern Utah, and see the full list of weekend events on our TGIF listing on stgeorgenews.com.
now back to you in the studio.
Thank you for watching St. George News at 5. To learn more about our studio sponsor, We Win Injury Law, go to wewininjurylaw.com. I'm Monica McLaughlin with St. George News, your #1 source for local news.
This has been St. George News at 5, brought to you by We Win Injury Law.